Brian Smith in Idaho is running against a guy who is GOP establishment that went back on his pledge of no new taxes. Brian Smith is up today for election against this rhino. Barry Loudermilk is also running against the GOP establishment in Georgia. Matt Bevin is running against Mr. Establishment, Mitch McConnell, in Kentucky today. Matt Bevin joins us now. Hi, Matt.
Hey, Glenn. So good to be with you today. It's exciting times here in Kentucky. It really is.
How do you feel?
I feel great. I really, truly feel good. I have always been an optimist, but I'm also a pragmatist. And I'll tell you, the two of them are in line today. The people of Kentucky will decide. They will vote. But the enthusiasm, the passion, the energy, the feedback we're getting already all help us feel great about this. But we'll find out tonight. We'll find out where we stand.
Speak more comfort to us, Matt. We're all a little bit nervous about the polls that are coming out.
I'm actually
about
having
Fox
to take
News
these
coverage.
Yeah, I'm actually having to take these girls along with me today, Matt, because they're all concerned
not
about
me. It's
they're all
Stu.
concerned about Fox News coverage where they are just making you look like a cockfighting guy. And quite honestly, what?
I heard last night Fox, the Fair and Balanced Network, was talking about how I have no chance. They said Mitch McConnell has it in the bag, and his primary challenger, Mark Bevin, is trailing badly in the polls. So they're so fair and balanced, they don't even bother to figure out who I am. And that's all right, though.
I will say I don't think Mark Bevin is going to win the race. I think they're right on that.
I agree with him. I'm willing to agree with him on that. I will tell you this, they'll be my best friend in about 12 hours.
Well, they can be your best friend, but I would warn you that, somebody asked me this a long time ago, and I think it's the best piece of advice I've ever heard. Matt, is it bad to have a snake as a rattlesnake as a pet?
I would say that's not a wise call.
Not a wise call. Actually, it's fine as long as you always remember it's a rattlesnake. If you start treating it like a puppy dog, you're dumb as a box of rocks.
Although the better option probably is not to have it as a pet at all.
Yes.
Matt's right on that.
Yes.
Matt, we talked to a really delightful, fantastic 15-year-old named Holly about an hour ago. And she came all the way from Rhode Island. I'm sure you've probably seen her, met up with her. And she's out galvanizing support for you and has a bunch of teens going out to 2,500 or 3,000 homes. And, I mean, it's that kind of thing that really gives you some hope in this campaign, doesn't it?
It does. Holly is outstanding, and there are dozens of kids who've come from around this state and around the country to knock on doors and to pour themselves into this process. And this, frankly, is what does give me hope. And this is exactly why we're in this race. My challenge, I've said this the last time when I talk to people, I ask your listeners, look in the faces of your own children, look in the faces of your grandchildren, decide for whom you're fighting. What is at stake? America is worth it, and I am so enthused by these young people who come here and pour themselves into their own futures. This gives me hope for America. It really does. They're great, great kids, every one of them.
I just keep going back to when Mike McConnell ran the first time when he was going after an incumbent. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he way behind in the polls right before the election?
He was. He was double digits down in every single poll that was taken right up until the day of the vote, and he was given no chance. And all the prognosticators were so sure it was over and done. Interestingly, I know you were joking, but actually Ronald Reagan came through Louisville in 1984 and did introduce him as Mitch McDonald on national. So it has been known to happen before, and people sometimes have a slip of the tongue. But I will tell you this, the only poll that matters is the one that's being taken right now. It started at 6 this morning. It'll end at 6 tonight. That's the only one that matters.
How is the local press handling this? Do you have anybody on your side in the local press?
Not really. No, I'll tell you, it's interesting.
That's crazy.
They want desperately for this to be between Grimes and McConnell because they will sell a ton more media buys. I mean, the amount of money that will be spent would be obscene if that were the case. And their odds of getting who they want, which is someone who is a liberal, would be much higher. Allison Grimes has the opportunity to beat Mitch McConnell. She doesn't have much chance to beat me in a general election. The polling shows that. The enthusiasm shows that. The word on the street shows that. And so they desperately want me to just disappear into the woodwork and allow them to have what they want. So we'll see.
What they will do if Michael McDonald wins is that they'll blame you. The establishment GOP will say, well, it's because of Matt Bevin.
They've been doing that since before I even got in this race. I mean, the irony is they have been coming up with excuses since day one. Here's what I would remind listeners. Mitch McConnell did not find himself with a 32% approval rating in Kentucky because of me. That happened long before I had anything to do with this race. And the only elected official in Kentucky less popular than Barack Obama is Mitch McConnell. He did that on his own. So they can come up with all the excuses they want.
So let me ask you this. I mean, I can't imagine. I said this is what I've been saying to these girls over here who are like, I don't know. I have
not been that way today.
Ben Sass won with 15 more points than the polls had him in. 15 points more than what he has, and Matt wins.
Let me just say, buck up, ladies. Buck up. It's all right. Life is good here. Yeah. I'm telling you, we're going to win this thing. We are going to make history. This will be a shot across the bow, not only of the establishment and the media folks here in Kentucky, but a shot across the bow of the entire political establishment. And you talk about a shot heard around the world, this will be it.
If you win, what do you suppose the GOP establishment does? Do they finally fold and start listening to the people? Because this is a really big deal. We all got into this one with our eyes wide open. That this was, and when we first talked to you, you were 50 points down. No way for you to win. No way for you to win. And and now here you're just within the reach if we're right about people's enthusiasm. I don't think people are enthused with Mitch McConnell. I do think they're enthused about you, and I think that changes everything. Plus, history,
because that's what moves people.
Right, and plus history shows that it's been done before in Kentucky. So this will be a shock to the system of the GOP. I've talked to a lot of people just in the last week from the GOP who are all telling me, Glenn, you guys don't have a chance on any of these races. And then Ben Sass. If this happens with Mitch McConnell, what do you think happens to the GOP?
It will force this is more than what happens to the GOP. What encourages me is what will happen to we the people. We the people will get off of our apathetic keisters. We will step up and realize this is still our government. More of us will come out of the fabric, out of the woodwork. We will come forward and be of and by and for ourselves with respect to our representation. There will be enthusiasm that will cascade into each of the races that is yet to come, in the primaries that are coming in the days and weeks that follow, starting in Mississippi and others beyond that. This is an opportunity to awaken the sleeping giant, and that sleeping giant, Glenn, is us. It is we the people.
I have to tell you, I think you're exactly right. Matt, I wish you all the best of luck. We'll be saying our prayers for you. If we were in Kentucky, we would have, if we were in Illinois, we would have voted 5 times for you already. We wish you all the best of luck, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for everything. Have a great day.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks, Win.
I will tell you he's right about that. That this is a pivot point race.
Yeah.
That if he wins, it's a pivot point, not just for the election this fall, but also for 16, because the entire GOP, you throw somebody as powerful as Mitch McConnell out to the curb. Yeah. And
that's why this is a bigger deal than Nebraska was.
Oh, this is a huge deal. You kick him to the curb, and everything in the entire country changes. Beyond that, if you don't kick him to the curb, that guy uses everything at his disposal to destroy anybody who stands against the establishment. This is a really, really important day. If you're in Kentucky, please get out and vote.